Hey, this is Ryan for RPG Vids. You've probably been hearing a lot about net neutrality here lately thanks to Ajit Pai, Donald Trump's appointed chairman to the Federal Communications Commission, who seeks to remove net neutrality. I'm here to explain to you how this can affect you and why it's important. So here we go. So first we need to explain what net neutrality is. Net neutrality is the principle that internet service providers should enable access to all content and applications regardless of the source and without favoring or blocking particular products or websites. Well, if we look more into it, we might find that net neutrality is not as good as it seems. So here is 5 reasons why net neutrality is not good. Number 1, net neutrality destroys innovation. Despite America being so technologically advanced, we have some of the slower internet speeds for more developed countries. America isn't even in the top 10 countries with the highest average internet speed. This is kind of sad considering that internet was first created within America. I mean, come on. Also, majority of our internet lines are using copper wires. They have yet to transition to fiber optic cables. This is because our internet service providers are forced to be on the same playing field. Copper wires do not transfer data near as fast as fiber optic cables do. And whenever you have fiber optic cables merging into copper wires, you have drops in your internet speed because there's congestion, there's a little traffic jam. It's kind of like having 10 highways merging into 2, and it just takes a while to get all that data through. This article also mentions that copper wires were never meant to be used for internet speeds at the level that we currently have. Feel free to pause the video if you would like to see what the article says specifically. More competition among internet service providers would result in better internet infrastructure, yielding in faster internet speeds for most people. The second reason why net neutrality is bad is for good internet, you basically have to break the bank. It's outrageous that anyone should have to pay more than $10, $15, $20 a month for good internet. Like I know here in Arkansas, just to have about a 3 megabyte speed, which is a lot lower than it is for the rest of the country, because like I said, the rest of the country is about 12 megabytes per second. We have to pay like 30 or 40 bucks a month for 3 megabyte speeds. Okay, that's outrageous. Nobody should have to pay that much for internet. Number 3 would be forcing people to pay the same rates for internet usage is unfair. Notice that I said paying for the usage of internet, not the speeds. This means that if you're paying for a $50 plan, you are being charged $50 regardless of how little or how much you use it. Why should somebody who's just using the internet to check emails or do some light web browsing pay near as much as somebody who's using the internet for video games or uploading videos to YouTube or streaming videos? And someone is using a whole lot more internet, somebody's just using a little bit. Why should they pay the same? You should only have to pay for the amount that you use. Kind of like gasoline, electricity, water. You just pay for what you use. In addition to having to pay the same rates, you're also having to pay a lot more than you really should because there is a monopoly with internet service providers, which brings me into number 4. The government is in charge of the internet with net neutrality. This alone should be enough to tell you that net neutrality is not good. In many cases, when the government is in charge of something, things tend to not go well, or it is just crap. This forces all internet service providers to be on the same playing field. One cannot get better than the other. In a way, it's a form of digital socialism. Instead of redistributing wealth, you're redistributing data. This also encourages monopolies. Your 3 major internet service providers are AT&T, Comcast, and Time Warner Cable. Yes, there are other ISPs out there, internet service providers, but they typically tap into one of these 3 major internet service providers. Since they are forced to be on the same playing field, all of these companies might as well just be one. None of them have sought to upgrade their lines. Their prices are outrageous. There's really no difference in between each of these major companies, all because they're forced to be on the same playing field thanks to the government and net neutrality. The 5th reason net neutrality is bad is because you will have less privacy on the internet. With the government in charge of the internet, there would be a lot more spying on us than there already is. And please don't act like this is some form of conspiracy or something. I mean, we have a whole government agency dedicated to spying on American people. It's called the NSA. So some bonus information that I have for you is some common misconceptions that people have when it comes to getting rid of net neutrality. One common misconception is that internet service providers will decrease internet speeds for some, but increase internet speeds for others. This is hardly true. We live in a capitalistic society. If one internet service provider started to decrease your internet speeds because you wanted to go to Netflix when their supporter was Hulu, then all you would have to simply do is drop that internet service provider and go to another. This would also cause them to compete a little bit more, lowering prices, so that way if you did switch, you'd probably be getting a little bit better deal anyways. Also, a lot of people are worried that internet service providers would censor certain parts of the internet. Again, this is not true. This goes back to this being a capitalistic society. If a internet service provider was censoring some websites that you wanted to go to, you would just change providers. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, it's really not that hard. This site claims that internet service providers would call the shots. This couldn't be any further from the truth. Since when did producers become in charge of the consumers? If internet service providers started doing things the consumer didn't like, then the consumer would drop the internet service provider, causing the internet service provider to lose money. This site that supports net neutrality is full of liberal rhetoric. With how modern liberals have been acting here lately, this should be a red flag. As I said before, net neutrality is the socialism of the digital world. Thank you for watching my video, and if you enjoyed it or learned something new, please hit that like button. Also, be sure to subscribe if you would like to continue watching more videos, and be sure to hit that notifications button with that bell icon. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon page. You can do this by clicking here, or clicking on the link that I have down in the description. With this, you can become my patron and support me directly, so that way I can release more videos and improve the quality of them. You can do this for as little as $1 a month. I offer rewards for my patrons that allow you to interact with me on a more personal level. I'd greatly appreciate your support, but if money is not an option, then just comment below and let me know what you thought about this video and what you would like to see in the future. I hope everyone has a great day, and I can't wait to see y'all next time.